everyone, my name is Razacle and today we are back here for another GameDev vlog. Yes, it has been a long time, over a week actually, and the reason for that is because of the stuff I have been adding this past week. There was a lot more stuff than expected. Like I only had like 4 or 5 things checked in for this week, but I ended up adding more stuff because of the systems I already added and needed to test it. And to do that, I need to add more systems. So that's why I made this a lot longer than usual. So my apologies for uploading this late. But anyways, for the GameDev vlog for this week, we have added, I'm pretty sure I gave you guys a briefing last week on what I was going to add. And those same things I told you guys about last week is here on this game. I just added a bit more stuff to it because I need to test it out. But yeah, you guys remember I talked about adding a upgrading slot system for the equipment. I changed that and now added a rune system for the player. So a rune system is basically where you can add in additional stones or artifacts. Well, actually I call it artifacts now. Artifacts, and when you wear these artifacts, the player gains extra stats like power, spirits, blessings, any of those that gets attached from the artifact. Now originally I was gonna do it so like the weapons would do that, but I had some technical difficulties with some compatibilities with some plugins in the engine, so I had to switch it around a bit, change the mechanics, and that's what I ended up with. Artifacts can be obtained from, I'm gonna have to say right now, just from the shop with another item, or maybe like crafting. But as of right now, it'll be available from the shop or from a quest. Will be like the best way of getting it. And these artifacts are basically slots for your players. You can have unlimited artifact slots per player, and you can stack up as many artifacts as you can. It's going to be pretty expensive each time you purchase one. For the artifacts, I also made it so the monsters, the creatures that you capture in the game, will also have those slots available for them. You're actually given 1 slot when you first capture any monster, so you can give them also an artifact, or the player, or both. It really doesn't matter. It's your preference actually. But yeah, you can also increase your strength and power to your monster. So that's also a cool thing I added. The next thing I want to talk about is a visual texture for the party switch. I know last time I made the shopkeeper texture for that, but this time I actually made a texture for the party switcher. It's kind of weird. It looks like I try to make like a TV screen with some coral reefs texture on it. That's what I thought about at first, and it ended up kind of looking a bit weird. I'm gonna have to say I might change in the future, but it doesn't look too bad right now. I also added like an animation for it too. You'll see in the gameplay soon enough. But yeah, I added texture for the party switch to make it a bit more, have a bit more variety in the map. Another big thing I changed was how the maps would look. Before it was from top down. Now I added a mode called mode 7. Mode 7 is basically from like a different perspective up above. I'm sure you guys heard about it. If you haven't, you can search it up right now. It's basically giving the map a different perspective from the standard top to bottom that RPGs would have. So I wanted to give that a try, and it seems to fit really well. So I'm gonna definitely keep this. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool how you're gonna see it in the game. But yeah, I also added that. And I also added a evolving creature system. Evolving creature system, yeah. Like if you played Pokemon before, I'm sure you guys have. Pokemon games would usually have it so when a Pokemon reaches a certain level, they will be able to level up, and not just level up, but they will be able to evolve and change forms, like the next form until they get to another even higher level to evolve again. I made a similar system to it, but instead of them evolving automatically when they get to a certain level, they're gonna be able to learn a skill, and that skill can only be accessed to the menu. And when you go to the menu, you can then use the skill on the monster itself, and the monster will evolve. And when it evolves, the skill will be removed, and the monster will be changed with extra additional stats. It'll tell you. I'll show you in the gameplay. Yeah, I added for variable, I added 2 transformations. I added Razacle and Vermbolio. Yeah, that's their names. they have like a little bit of expansion on each one, so you'll see like the different stages on how they each evolve. And there's a total of 3 forms you know. So I added that revolved system. I just noticed that, but I just said I was gonna add the transcendent forms for them as well, but I'm gonna do that this week. So be ready for the transcendent forms for that one. But it's not gonna be for this devlog, it'll be for next devlog. So yeah. The next thing added on the checklist here is skills and techniques. Now they're not called skills in this game, they're actually gonna be called styles and techniques. So styles are basically like what kind of fighting style does a player specialize in? Like for example, boxing or jiu-jitsu or maybe taekwondo, like one of those kind of styles. There'll also be planning to add like swordsmanship and then 2 style, 3 style, something like that. Will also be in the future. Even like a thief would be something that I'll be planning to add. So right now I only added 1 class, which is boxing. I added I think 2 skills. 1 skill is when you have the class, and the other one is a separate monster, which can also be used to give you another skill for boxing class or style. And yeah, I've also made the animations for it and the parameters for the class and skills or class and techniques. Not class, style and techniques. Just 1 for now. Next week I'll add a bit more, but yeah, this week I just wanted to experiment just a little bit on how they would work, and I got a little grasp on how they work. Like for techniques, you would get them through items, not through level up, not through natural level up. Maybe I might change that, but as of right now, the only way to get how it works is that when you get a class, you'll be given 1 skill from that class when you first transfer to that class, and then to get new techniques from that class, you would have to get those items that would let you learn those techniques. But I'm not sure if that's going to be optimal for the gameplay. So I probably will add a few natural level up, but as of right now, that's how it's going to be. So yeah, and I think that's about it for the whole checklist here. I've also added more stuff in. I'm sure you're seeing the window on the left side, what I added throughout the 7 days. But I also added a battle map zone thing. I don't know what to name it, but I don't know, like, it's basically, think of it as like a Pokemon battle where when you get into the grass and then you get into the battle, you're in that mode. That's what I created there, but I still have the ABS system here, so you're gonna be able to smash your own keys and everything and use your own skills and have the monster help you. Now I actually fixed that issue. So remember last week or previous weeks from GameDev log, I had an issue where your companion couldn't attack, but now they can attack. It's just that they can only attack with certain requirements. So I had to note that down because they can't work in every situation. They can only work in some situations. So I fixed that, and I'm now designing the maps to make it so they would always work no matter where you are. So that's gonna be fixed. Also, I had a problem with the save function. Like when you're trying to save the game, sometimes the game wouldn't let you save, and then they would only let you save if you have just a player by itself in your party. So you can't have any other members at all with you when you're trying to save. So the only way you can save is if you put all your parties, all your members in your party to the party switcher and then save that way. And they can't be saved on the map that you're in. So I had to make another map for the save core. So I've added a item here where you can just click on it, you'll be sent to the new map, and it'll give you options to save, and then you can go back to the map you're in. I've added coordinates so you would never forget your location where you were before. So that's a good thing. And I'm also going to be planning to, since I know that you can't save with party members, I'm going to have a party switcher every time with a save core, so you can have that set up ready. So I'm going to try to make it as convenient as possible, but as of right now, you can't save with your party members. Not all the time. I know there's sometimes, I've tested it before, there's sometimes where you can do it, but not all the time you can. So it kind of sucks, sadly, but hopefully eventually I'll be able to fix this. But right now, that's just how it's going to work. What else did I add? Oh yeah, I added a weird way of leveling up. Not a weird way, but the way you level up now, when you level up, you're given these stat points, and unlike before, where when you level up, you automatically get all your stats and everything, you get an option to pick which stat to upgrade. Kind of like, I'm referring to a game called Bit Heroes, where when you level up, you can dedicate, you're given stats, right? And then you're dedicated that stat to whatever option you want, like speed, power, or defense, kind of like that. That's what I added into this game. So the player has more options into what they want to become as a build. Like, do they want to become a DPS, tank, any other, and they can always focus on that. Now I said I was gonna add more stuff to the shop, but I had issues with the shopping mechanic thing. I kind of fixed it a little bit with how you would talk to him, but I'm still having issues with that, which I will try and resolve next week. But honestly, I have a lot more stuff to do next week. Yeah, I'm gonna add a bit more creatures and stuff next week. So probably the week after that, I'll be adding that feature for the shopkeeper, add more items to it. But right now, we still have the same items to the shopkeeper, so I didn't really change it that much. I also added a fusion table. That's the crafting system that I was talking about. The fusion table basically is how it works is that you need a recipe, and to get those recipes, they're called blueprints. The blueprints can be obtained from shopkeeping, from the shop, from the killing monsters, quests, probably anything that you get rewards from. And these blueprints will give you the foundations on what is needed to craft that item. When you have that, then you'll have the requirements to be able to craft that item. Right now, I've only added one item that you can craft, which is the Stone of Zelf. You'll be able to see it on day 7, what it looks like. But yeah, the Stone of Zelf is basically an artifact actually, which is what I needed to test out how the artifacts would work. And it works pretty well actually. Kind of overpowered, so I'm gonna have to cut that down. I don't know. Actually, I'm fine with like giving the player unlimited back slots, but we'll see. Yeah, that's how we added the crafting system, like called it the fusion table, because it sounds cooler. But yeah, like you need the ingredients and sometimes money to craft the item, and you can craft it. As long as you have the recipe with you, then you're fine. That's how the crafting system works. And then the last thing I added, aside from one other thing, the last thing I added for a mechanic is skill tree. Skill tree is probably going to be the way you're going to be learning skills. So this is why I was contemplating if a player should level up, natural level up through skills to get skills, or should they get it from the skill tree, which is basically the skill tree is basically you'll have a set of stuff, you'll have a set of blocks to get through, and you can pick a path in that class what you want to become. So I've made a skill tree for standard, which is like the basic class that you get in the game right now. I made 2 pathways, one berserk and then one you get guard skill. So if you get guard, you can then go for berserk afterwards. So kind of like that. So I'm kind of deciding right now what I should do. I know for creatures, they'll definitely get the skills from natural level up and not from the skill tree. Skill tree for them might be something different. That's what I'm gonna do. So for them, they'll probably get extra stats, so you can dedicate them to getting a different build, maybe passive states, maybe skills. Maybe I will give them skills, but we'll have to see. But right now, I'm still deciding which goes which, or should I do a mixture of both? Maybe a mixture of both would be the best way to do it. But yeah, skill tree is something I want to do, so I added that as well. And I think that's it for the mechanics. I mean, anything really else I could. Yeah, that's what it for the mechanics. Oh wait, I forgot about the evolving system. Okay, so for the evolving system is. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure. Did I say it? I'm pretty sure I said something evolving system. Oh yeah, I did say that. Okay, never mind. I normally said there. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about in this game DevLog is the grass, the battle mechanic. I made it pretty cool actually. So I made it designed in a way so the player will have flexibility on how they will fight, give them time to strategize, and also give them enough space for the player. Of course, in the future, I'm going to add in more stuff to it. Obviously, like way more, more options.
Alright, so here we are in the gameplay right here. It's running pretty smoothly actually. It's running at 60 FPS. But anyways, we are in the game. So as you can see here, Mode 7 definitely changes a lot of things here. As I told you before, it's like 3D-ish, 2.5D-ish. It gives a little depth to the textures and the mapping. So I'm gonna definitely add this for the future. It's gonna look pretty amazing how I'm gonna try to make the maps. Even though I'm not like a good artist, but I'll try my best. Especially with how this looks, it looks already pretty amazing, which is the wall. But yeah, that's that's what I did for the Mode 7. It's gonna be pretty cool. And here, all these guys here that's hovering with these texts. Here are all the mechanics I've added. I'm sure you've seen a few that are similar, like the same, but there are mostly all new stuff. Like the artifacts, the level up, the healer and the fusion table, skill tree, and in the party switch I've added the texture to it. It looks pretty cool. I made an animation for it to make it more better. But yeah, that's what I did for the party switch. And I also added the grass, which is the battle system. So actually, let's show you guys the battle system first before we get into the mechanics. So it's kind of like Pokemon. You get into the battle right here, and then you get teleported to this whole new area. Now, for the battle system, it might be simple right now, but I'm going to definitely make it more complex and then have more challenges and more creatures to fight. So right now this is only like a template to use. Maybe for like the normal battles we're just in the grass like right now. It'll be something like this. But for the boss battles and like the leaders, if you want, I don't think you guys, yeah, okay, not the leaders, but like for the main villains in the game, it'll be more complex than this. But yeah, that's how the system goes. You can see here. I went too quick for that one. Let's go back again. But yeah, so you go in the grass, kind of like Pokemon, and you get in there, and then your goal is to try and kill the creature or defeat it. So you try and defeat it first. I'm clicking my buttons right now. Try to defeat this thing. All right, there you go. And then just like before, you have a chance of capturing it. I didn't get any chance, which sucks, but yeah. And then this chest spawns in, and this chest is the reward that the creature gives you. Yeah, so like before, when you kill the creature, you get the rewards right away, but how I made it here is when you try and kill them, the chest will spawn in the map instead, anytime you kill them, and then you are given unlimited time for the chest, so it won't despawn and you won't be teleported back automatically. You're given as much time as you want, so you can really spam the chest right away if you want to get the battle quickly, or you can take your time after you're done a long boss fight, for example. But yeah, I made it this way so the players are given like a break time after they're fighting such a hard-fought battle, so they're able to take a break. That's what I did. I've also added tree textures to this map and added some Terrax lighting and shadows and restrictions to make it a little visually better when you're in the battle. So yeah, that's what I did there. And yeah, so here we click on the chest here. There, you're given one piece of loot. I got Dustin Helm, which is a rare, and you teleport back right away. And you can repeat this process over and over again. That's how the battle system works for right now. It's I've played it for like a few hours and it's actually pretty fun, so I'm sure it's not like a boring one. It might get repetitive later on if you're like in the future until you get to a new area. So I'm probably gonna add variations to each map will have like a variation of its own area to fight in and different areas to go through. So it's gonna have more flexibility than that. But that's how the battle system works right now. In regarding to the mechanics, let's show you guys the artifact system. So as you can see here, we're given main, hand, head, body, feet, legs, accessory. That's what the normal player is given from the start. And then when you get artifacts, for right now you can just cheat and get limited of it right now, but in the future you're gonna have to pay a price to it. And with artifacts, these are basically extra slots for the player where you can put in artifacts which will actually give you extra stats for your character. So I originally wanted to add upgrading item slots for the weapons and equipment, but there are some incompatibilities with the plugins, so I had to change it up a bit, and that's what I ended up with, which is artifacts. So now the player is given unlimited artifact slots, or artifact slots in which they can put in equipments, custom other kinds of equipments where they can upgrade the character that way with stats at least, other than just leveling up. So they have more flexibility now, other than just the 5 pieces of equipment they're given, as well as artifacts also to also upgrade their character. This is also applied with creatures because they also have a artifact slot as well. Here, let me show you. Go shop. Here, I kind of fixed shop a bit, so now it doesn't have an issue with having to like leave and come back again. But you have to click it 2 times for the first time when you go into the map, or for the first time when you go into the game. But afterwards, you just click it once and it's fine, which I will fix obviously in the future. But that's just how it works right now. It got a little bit better. As you can see here, when you try and click equip for the variable, unlike before where you're given the 5 equipment pieces for the variable, now for every creature they're only given one slot to start off with, which is the artifact, just like the player. So you can not only upgrade the player, you can also upgrade the creature as well. So I made it more flexible that way. So that's the artifact system, which is in replacement of the item upgrading slot system. And then the skill tree system is something I still am debating if I should make it so the players and creatures level up naturally to get to the next stage, like to get new skills and evolve and transform. Maybe for creatures I'll make it so it naturally levels up, and then for players they are given a skill tree where they can pick a path on which one they want to choose. I might change it in the future with some creatures where they also are given this, but right now I'm gonna make it so the players are only given this, and they can't get skills naturally. And then for creatures, it's the opposite, where they get skills naturally from leveling up. I might actually mix it both, actually, because that's probably the better option here. Make it more flexible. But yeah, that's the skill tree. It's pretty cool. Let me show you guys how it works. So you can't really right now. So okay, I just purchased the guard, but before you couldn't purchase the berserk first, because the berserk needs to be the berserk requires you to purchase the guard first. So you have to go through the line, and then you can probably go for the berserk. But I don't have enough money to do that. I'm gonna purchase more. That, and then you buy the berserk like this. Oh, how much money do I have? There you go. So much money. Why do you make it so expensive? And you unlock that one, and then boom, that line's done. Once you purchase it, it'll have a different color palette to show you that you've already purchased that. So that's skill tree. It's a pretty cool plugin. I've used it. It's amazing. And yeah, that's for the skill tree. So I've also added a manual level up point system. So when you level up your creatures and your player, you're given an option to spend your points. And these points are given each time you level up. And with these points, you can spend it on your stats for your character or creature, and you can focus on what you want to upgrade to them, instead of like having like a generic set of stats that you're just given when you level up. Now you have an option to pick a direction of where you want your creature or character to go for. Like maybe they want to be a tank or a DPS. So I made an option like that, so the player, like you as a player, can have the option to change where the stats are going to. So I added that, and for the creature, I've also added the evolving system. So I'll show you right now here. So I'll give you a description of like how when it evolves, it'll give you like a little animation, and I'll give you some text to show you how it evolves, or not how it evolves. It like shows you what it evolves into. So Razacle is transformed into Razacle, and then it'll give you its additional stats from evolving. Yeah, right there. And you can do the same thing again. Now obviously I'm not gonna make it like this. It won't be this easy, but it'll be similar to this. And when you use that skill, which can be accessed from the menu, not when you're in battle, then the skill will be removed. So you can't continuously do this. But yeah, there you go. Revolio, and that's the final transformation, and the creature actually changes its form. You can see right there, it changed its form. Now it's a little bigger than its initial form, and it has a little bit different textures and a name. So yeah, that's what I did there for the evolving system. And then for the last thing for the systems, except for the classes, I'll get to that one last. For the second last thing is the crafting system, which is the fusion table. And the fusion table is obtained from getting blueprints. Now the blueprints can be obtained probably anything that is that gives rewards. As of right now, I might make it different in the future, but right now you can get it from any rewards, like quest, loot, shop, any of those kind of things. You can get the blueprints there, and blueprints are basically recipes for you to make that item. It doesn't actually give the item itself. To get the item itself, you have to first, let's say the healer gives you the blueprint. So I got the blueprint now. So if you saw before, so I have the blueprint, which doesn't really do anything, it's just in your inventory. But now that I have the blueprint, now when I go back to the fusion table, I'm given a recipe on to make this item that it gives you from the blueprint. So that's what the blueprints does. It gives you the recipe to craft that item, and to craft that item you need the ingredients and or currency to get it. So yeah, that's what I did there for that. It's pretty cool. Also pretty flexible too, where the player can have different blueprints and then combine different types of items to make new items. So that's what I'm going to be doing there. But yeah, that's how the crafting system works. And then the last thing is the classes. So for the classes here, I've only added one class, which is a style. I've added the boxing style. So similar to the techniques, well, not the techniques, similar to like the evolving system with the creatures, the player will also be able to change, not their form, but be able to change their skill set. So now, before the style that I had before was standard, which is like a normal human being, and then now the person is specialized with the style, so now they can learn additional skills. So right now the player has jab, and then in the future, when you get loot or there's a shop, and then when you get loot or a shop, there'll be items that can provide you the skill set. No, not the skill set, that can provide you skills like techniques for that class, so then you can get more skills for that style you're working towards on, which will make it more flexible actually for that. So that's what I did there. I think that's what it is. Oh, actually, I just got the 1-2 punch technique on the first try. I was not expecting that, but let me show you guys how this technique thing works. Okay, so basically got there, the 1-2 punch technique. You click on boxing. Now, if you don't have the boxing class, I'm gonna make it so then when you don't have the class on you, it will decline it, so you can't learn that skill. And even if you know it was successful, you won't be able to show up because you don't have that class anyways. So there you go. So you have the 1-2 punch now on your arsenal, and then you get over here. Hopefully, Verbalio doesn't interfere. Okay, do that, and there you go. That's what it looks like. The skill. It looks kind of weird, I know. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it so the actual player moves and not have additional animations for it. But I'm still having trouble how to figure that out. But as of right now, that's what it looks like. It's pretty cool. That's what the jab looks like. Gotta do that and then do that. There you go. Yeah, it kind of looks like an uppercut, but that's the jab. I'm not sure right now, but in the future, I will definitely change it if I can find a way to make it so the actual player would change the animation and not like what it is right now, where it's like an extra set of textures that does it and not the actual player. But right now that's how it works. So that's about it for right now. Oh yeah, the save core. So in regards to the save core here, so I'm gonna click save. I know I mentioned it before, but right now you can save with the party members, but there'll be sometimes, I'm saying right now, there'll be sometimes where you can't save when you have other party members with you. So the only way to save the game is if you go to party switch, which I will definitely add right beside the save core. So you'll have that resource with you, and then you gotta be by yourself, like just the party leader, and it has to be the party leader. Actually, I think you can save with just. Let me try something. I think you can just save with just this too. Pretty sure. Yeah, as long as there's only one character, in your party, then you can save, 100% guaranteed. So if you have more than one party member in your team and you're trying to save and it doesn't work, that's the reason why. the actual reason why it does that, I have no idea. It's a weird issue. It's a weird bug that I've been having ever since I got some of these mechanics added to the game. Before that, there was no issue like that before. So this is something that is new. But yeah, that's how the game has been for the past week. And I apologize, guys, for not uploading this sooner than usual, because usually I would upload this 2 days before today, or yesterday at least, but today's Monday and it's kind of, yeah, I'm a bit overdue right now, because usually I would schedule it on the weekends. So that's my fault. That's my fault. So I apologize for that. But yeah, that's about it for this GameDev vlog. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment down any ideas you guys have. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Razacle's out. Goodbye.